In previous video, we have learned about some key points and basic concept about routing information protocol, also known as RIP routing protocol. In this video, we will learn how we can configure the RIP information protocol on a Cisco router. So, before going to the configuration part of this video, let me introduce you to my topology. And this is the topology we will use in this video, and we will configure RIP version 1 on router 1 and RIP version 1 on router 2. First we will configure RIP on these devices, and then after that we will configure the RIP on router 3, and we will exchange the routing information between these devices, and we will ping the loopback address of router 3 loopback 1 from router 2, and from router 3 we will ping the loopback IP of router 1 router 2. So let's jump in the configuration part of this video, and we are using 10.0.12.0/24 network between router 1 and router 2, and we are using 10.0.13.0/24 network in between router 1 and router 3. So as I mentioned in the previous video that RIP always summarize the networks on their class full boundaries. So we will also look at this part. Let's go to router 1 and configure the RIP on router 1. To configure router 1, we need to go to the configuration mode, and here we will issue a command router RIP and then network. We will advertise the network. First we will advertise 10.0.0.0, and we also advertise the loopback address of router 1, which is 1.1.1.1. Doesn't matter, you can also type 1.1.1.1, enter. It will automatically summarize this network to 1.0.0.1. I will show you in the routing table of router 2. So exit it, show IP route. We are having all connected networks, no RIP receiving route in the routing table. So go to the router 2 and check is there any protocol running before the RIP. To check is there already a protocol running on this router, you can issue the command show IP protocol. So there is no command running on this router, so that it's not showing any output. So let's configure RIP and go further. Router RIP network 10.0.0.0, and here we will also advertise the loopback address of router 2 0.0.0. Alright, exit and exit. Now type that command again, show IP protocol. It will show that the RIP is now active on the router, and the timers are listed here, sending update in every 30 seconds, as we see in the key concept video that it's sent update in every 30 seconds. It's sent full routing table to its neighbor in every 30 seconds. Here the due time, which means the RIP will send that update, the full routing update, in 22 seconds to its neighbor, and after 180 seconds it will consider a route invalid and it will hold for 180 seconds, and after 180 seconds, when oh, after 240 seconds, it will flush that route from its routing table. And here are the routing for network 2.0.0.0, 10.0.0.0, and the interface which is participating in the RIP process is fast Ethernet 0.0.0, and loopback interface loopback 1, and this is the version capabilities, send version 1 and receive version 1 and 2, and we will talk about this in the later video. But in here we will see the basic key output of this routing protocol. Below is the gateway, which is 10.0.12.1, which is the neighboring router, and the distance is showing 120, which is the administrative distance of routing information protocol. So let's check the IP routing. Show IP route, and we will see here that it's receiving one network and 10.0.13.0 network, this one. This two network is receiving from router 1. Let's ping 1.1.1.1. from here we are able to ping the 1.1.1.1 network. As I said that it will summarize its subnet to its classful boundaries. It doesn't matter you type the full command or you type the full network, it will automatically summarize this on its classful boundaries. And previous output is stated that automatically network summarization is in effect. It means it's automatically summarizing the network. So let's check the routing table of router 1. Now we are having the loopback IP address of router 2, and we are able to ping from here. In previous output we are not receiving any route from routing information protocol RIP, but after advertisement we are using the 2.2.2.0.0.0/8 network to reach the loopback address, which is advertised by the router 2 from fast Ethernet 0x0. We are receiving this route, and this is the AD value of routing information protocol, and this is the metric value, which is a hop count. RIP uses hop count value as its metric, so /1 is representing the hop count and the metric value is one hop away. Let's also configure the RIP on the router 3 and see the hop count example. To configure RIP, go to configuration part and issue router RIP network. The network between router 1 and router 3 is this, or you can also type this 0, doesn't matter, it's all same for RIP version 1. And we will advertise the loopback interface and exit and show IP protocol. It will show that the RIP is running on the router, and it will Auto summarizing it, these are the interfaces which is participating in the routing RIP process. These are the networks which is being routed by the RIP. This is the gateway, metric, distance, AD value, and so IP route. Now we are having 3 routes in this routing table received from RIP. It's showing that we are receiving 3 routes from RIP process, which is loopback of router 1, loopback of router 2, and the IP address of the network between router 1 and router 2. So the main focus will be the administrative value and the metric value. Here we are using the AD value of 120, which is same, but you can focus here that we are using metric 2. This means the loopback of router 2, this is the IP address of loopback interface of router 2, and from router 3 perspective, the loopback address is 2 hop away from this. One is router 1 and other is router 2. That is clearly showing that this route is 2 hop away from this router. If there is any route which is 4, 5 or 6 hop away, it will show that value that this particular route has 6 hop away from this point. So maximum hop count is 15. Anything beyond 15 is considered infinite or the poison route, and it will discarded by the routing protocol. So these are the basic configuration of routing information protocol. These are the pretty simple configuration. There is nothing to do much. If you want to configure only RIP on a Cisco router and just have the basic connectivity between the router, you can configure RIP. It's not very resource intensive protocol. It's designed for small networks, so it won't run high on your Cisco devices and it won't eat up resources. So for the demonstration, we have configured the RIP on Cisco routers. So for now, thanks for watching the video and see you in the next video.